we are God's children. Look at verse 19. The Bible says, we know we are of God, and the whole world lies under the sway of the wicked one. Understand on this morning that when you're a child of God, it ain't a question about whether you are or not. Ain't no question that I'm Jerome Bowen's son. Ain't no question. Because you look at the man, you see him in the son. Amen, somebody. It ain't no question that that's my boy over there. Ain't no question, because it's some features that he got that look just like his dad. And then one of the greatest things, you act just like yours. Some of my parents reminded me of when they were here. They saw some things that my son was doing. They said, they started laughing. I said, what you laughing about? Because he act just like you did. You can't hide from DNA. John says, we know that we are born of God. We know that we belong to him. Why? Because you can't deny spiritual DNA. Somebody miss it. See, it's some traits that some of us got that we got from our father. See, ain't no denying that we belong to him because it's from church. But then notice this. He said that the world is under the sway of the wicked one. See, the other side of that, there's some traits that let you know that you belong to the devil. As a matter of fact, when those Jews came at Jesus after he healed somebody and talking about that you are Beelzebub, he said, you are of your father, the devil. Why would Jesus say that you're of your father, the devil? Because they had some DNA. And let me tell you on this morning, there's some folks in here that you think God's your father, but your real father has come and he wants to claim you. Because you got some of his DNA up in you. What you mean about that, brother? What you mean about that I got some of the devil's DNA? Well, you got envy in your heart. You got some jealousy in your heart. You got some malice in your heart. See, those are elements of spirit of the devil's DNA. And that's about it. You walk around here, you can't stand nobody, but you're gonna talk about, oh, how I love Jesus. I'm one of God's children. No, you ain't. You better check your birth certificate and your DNA, because I don't think you belong to the Lord. But you can know that you're one of his because of your DNA. Well, what's God's DNA? Love, joy, long suffering. Ooh, I might have to stay on long suffering. Because some of us ain't got no long suffering. Because we don't suffer long with nobody. We want to gut every person we can, let somebody do something to you. We go into the car. And smokes, we ain't going to get a Bible. We going to the trunk of the glove compartment. Say amen when you can. There ought to be a point in every child of God's life where they put aside the foolishness of this world and start to live for the Lord. There ought to be a point in every child of God's life that you put aside the hatred and not. It's time for some folks to quit being so hateful. You so hateful your blood boils. Amen, somebody. But it ought to be a point where you just, all that stuff got to go out the window. Yeah. It ought to be a way that somebody can say, and looking at you and say, that's one of God's children. He looked just like his father. Amen, somebody. But when you're born of God, you ought to have those things in you. You've been in the church 30 years. And you got the same hatred you've had for the last 30 years. It's time to let some of that stuff go. Your pressure is up because of the hatred that you've had for 30 years. Doctor, I don't know what's going on. Why my pressure is so high? Well, maybe if you learn how to forgive some folks, maybe your pressure will stabilize. Say amen when you can. But we know that we are God's children.